Hey guys, welcome to the very first video on the Hitslane YouTube channel, and I'm going to kick it off with a developing series. And you guys may or may not know, but Hitslane is developed by 80% custom plugins, so I figured let's go behind the scenes of Hitslane and teach you guys how to develop. So first things first, guys, if you guys are interested in coding, you need to know a little bit of Java. So Java is used to run games such as Minecraft, so you need Java in general. So everybody has Java if you play Minecraft. So nonetheless, now you want to code Java, meaning you can make things, you can do things on Minecraft servers, you can make mini games, but that's way down the road because it does take time to remember and there's a lot of things to know. So first things first, you need a developing platform. I suggest Eclipse. You guys can use anything else, but Eclipse I use. Many other big developers use it. I know CodeBeastie, Looney Rules, good friends of mine, they use it as well. You can download 32, Windows 32, or 64. I believe, yeah, Eclipse is also supported by Mac, so if you have a Mac, you can also develop on there. But once you download and install, you should get something similar to looking like this. Now, don't mind that, but all your packages over here, these are your plugins. So I know I may be going a little fast, but you can pause the video, so just make sure you download that, and you can open it and you'll get Eclipse. Now one thing, guys, if you don't run a server or anything, you're gonna need something called a jar. The jar is all server owners know what a jar is. A jar can be used to run a server on a certain version. So for example, I'm going to be using the 1.8 spigot jar, meaning the plugins I code is going to be in 1.8 and all the features in 1.8, example like the messages in the front of the top of the screen, that's a 1.8 feature. So if you use a jar that was 1.6, it wouldn't be able to do that. So you can go spigot 1.8 download. Let's see. Let's go here. Spigot download. There you go, Spigot download right there. You can download Spigot, or you can go to, I believe it's dl.craftbukkit.org, and you can download. No, it's not. Never mind. Okay, don't do that. Just go Spigot or CraftBukkit, whatever floats your boat. So nonetheless, I'm going to be using Spigot. So first, we are going to go up to File, New, Java Project. So now you can create your project. It's suggested you use uppercase just to stay, organized with me. You can do whatever you want, but hey, I'm gonna make it uppercase. I'm gonna title it my first. If I could type first plugin, there we go. So my first plugin. So if you guys may know, if you play on Mineplex, for example, what is a plugin? If you guys don't even know what a plugin is for example, do you know the server navigator in Mineplex? They use that to travel servers. That is a plugin, and deep down that plugin, there's code that makes it function. Now, inside of my first plugin, we're going to make a package. A package holds the class files, and class files are what holds the information, so the code. So this is all just basic stuff. You need to know this in order to code anything. So we're going to go up to File, New, Package, and make sure you have my first plugin selected. File, New Package. And now you can title this anything you want. You can say, usually with me, I just do me.09sharkboy. It can't be a numeral after the period, so it has to be I just do 09sharkboy dot and then the plugin name, so I can do my first plugin. I usually do this if I'm developing for customers, but if I'm doing it for Hitslane, my server, if I'm coding for that, I do com.hitslane.plugin name, because Hitslane's URL is hitslane.com, just to stay organized. So in this case, I'll just do me.09sharkboy dot my first plugin. And just for safety precautions, you could get confused down the road. I would have everything lowercase here, so just to be careful when you're creating plugin YMLs and such. So long story short, have the name in lower cases. Finish, and now you have this square, four divided squares. So there, now you have your package. Now, to actually start coding, you go back up to File, make sure you have the package selected, File, New, Class. So this is your class file. You can name it, honestly, whatever you want. Only thing is it has to be uppercase. It's not enforced to be uppercase, but it says, say right here, KJK is lowercase, starting. It says type name is discouraged by convention. Java types names usually start with an uppercase letter. So in this case, you can use main, core, whatever you really want. You can honestly, you can name it anything you want. You can name it tutorial YouTube, anything you want. You can name it anything. So in this case, I'm going to name it main. It's just to stay organized, so I know that main is the main class file. It's going to be the one that tells the server, you know, when it's enabled and when it's disabled. So before we actually start coding, as you guys can see, we get package me.09sharkboy.myfirstplugin, public class main. So this pretty much is just saying it's in this plugin. So like this class file is located at me.09sharkboy.myfirstplugin. Is that true? Yes, it is. It's located in there. Now we actually have to implement the Spigot API, meaning like I could code in here. I'll just do some when player, this is very wrong code by the way. When player joins, give diamonds. It's a very incorrect code. Like this is not even a true line of code, but pretty much you need an API. Even if this was a correct code, like Java, the Eclipse wouldn't understand that because the API isn't implemented. So you right click my first plugin, go down to build path, go over to configure build path. Alright, so you'll probably start at source or somewhere here. Find libraries, go to add external jar, and then search for the API jar that you downloaded. In my case, it's Spigot 18, which stands for Spigot 1.8. Now when I import that, now I can finally do Minecraft related things. Eclipse right off the bat wouldn't know, it doesn't know what Minecraft is. That's why you need the API. So for your main class for plugins, every plugin needs a main class. So in this case, main is going to be the main class. So we have to extends Java plugin. This tells the server that, pretty much I like to say that it tells the server, okay, in this plugin, being my first plugin, the main class file is the one that I need to, you know, look into to register events, you know, and all that kind of stuff. We'll get into events and all that stuff later. But pretty much, guys, stick to, right now, if you're a beginner, stick to one class, main, and always extend the Java plugin. We'll get into listeners and all this other complicated stuff down the road. So I'm just going to space this out because this is how I code. I just find it helps out. So right here, guys, are braces. If you guys don't know what braces are, I would suggest Googling it. They're pretty much, it holds specific information. So pretty much right here, it says public class main extends Java plugin. Anything inside of these braces are going to do something. So our first line of code. So I just spaced everything out. Now we're going to do public void on enable. Remember, this is all case sensitive. It has to be just like this or it will be incorrect. And then enter and do another curly brace. Space again. Don't worry about the errors. We'll fix it later. Now, if any of you are server owners and you guys know what a console is pretty much, you know, it shows all of the information in a plugin in this black thing. You'll get to see it later. So pretty much this is the statement it's going to say when you start up the plugin. For server owners, you may know that it says, for example, Essentials is now enabled. That's exactly what we're going to do here. So first we're going to do bucket.getServer.getLogger.info. And so right in between the quotations here, you guys can see this is where it's going to say, for example, it would say Essentials is now enabled. So I'm going to you can put anything here. You won't get an error no matter what, as long as they're inside of these quotations. So I'm going to do my first plugin is now enabled. There we go. So as soon as the console starts up, if the plugin enables properly, it's going to say my first plugin is now enabled. And so same thing, we're going to do an on disable, meaning when the server is turning off. So public void on disable. And then same thing, curly brace, bucket.getServer.getLogger.info, quotations again, and we'll do my first plugin. See, I messed up on the quotations here. No worries, you just gotta delete it. My first plugin is now disabled. Perfect. There. So now we made a public on disable and on enable. So this, now if I were to run this plugin, it's going to pretty much say in the console, my first plugin is now enabled. It's actually not going to do anything besides say in the console it's enabled. So in this tutorial, we're going to make a command, and it's going to be a very, very basic command, but down the road we'll do other things. So I think for this command we'll you know we'll do the command and it'll send us a message. So this is a long line of code you need to remember, but I'd suggest maybe making a coding tips page or notepad so you can refer to this down the road. So public, by the way, you need this if you want to make commands. You hands down 110% need this line of code. If you don't have this, your command will not work. Public boolean on command sender command cmd. And so I'll stop for a moment so you guys can copy all that down, and I'll explain it all later. String command label string args curly brace. So hopefully you guys got all of that. So pretty much this means here there are errors, don't worry. So all you have to do now to get rid of these errors, if you implemented the API correctly, you should be able to hover over them, import command sender from org.bukkit.command. Same thing with over here. And now you get two of them. Like, oh god, which one do I use? Well, this is the command, it's not material. So you're going to import command. So you get an error, don't worry, that'll be fixed later. So pretty much this means on command, so command sender, which is like the player, sender, command cmd, short form is command. So it's going to be player plus command, string, which strings are down the road, you'll learn that, don't worry. And arguments are like spaces. So if I were to do / help server, this right here are arguments. So like they're like the external spaces, like the extra spaces in code. So we're gonna make the actual command. So if command dot get name, so get the name dot equals ignore case. Okay. So you're probably like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? So right here, you're gonna add a curly brace at the end, by the way. If command.getName equals ignore case, meaning it doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase, it's still gonna do this command. So I'm going to do my first plugin. So when someone types / my first plugin, what do you want it to do? And it opens up another curly brace, and in between this one and this one, it's gonna do something when you type my first plugin. Space. Let's say so we're going to send a message. So we're going to do player P. So player is short form for P is equal to, in brackets, player sender. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Player is a short form for P, which is equal to a real player, or also known as the sender of the command. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So P, which stands for player, you could always do you don't have to do that. You could always do player, but P, which is short form for player, P.send message. So it's going to send a message to that player. Now this is the fun stuff. I like this stuff. We're going to do chat color. So this is the color. You can't just do, color codes like this anymore. You can do that in code, but I prefer sticking to just chat color. Chat color.green, all uppercase. Plus, in quotes, congrats. You've done your first plugin. Perfect, and add a semicolon at the end. So right now, when you do my first plugin, it's going to do, it's going to read. Okay, so pretty much the server's going to read. Okay, so player is equal to P. Oh, okay, so player.send message chat color.green. Congrats, you've done your first plugin. So that's exactly what it's going to do. Now, to make things nice and easy, you're going to return true. You got to do that every time you do a command. So say, for example, if you're going to add another command, you do command blah blah blah, return true, and then below that you still have that error. No worries, it's just because you need to return false as well. So you can hover over it and add return statement. It'll add one right between here, and there you go. No more errors. Your plugin is done. Now there's one more thing you have to do before you can actually save it. So you're going to hit my first plugin, the actual package, file, new, file. You're going to name this plugin.yml. Every plugin needs this. Let me just drag this over. So nice and easy. Even developers like myself, I sometimes forget plugin YMLs. So I have to open up this one here. So there we go. So I have a reference right here. So pretty much your plugin YML is going to look similar to this. This is another plugin I made, so don't worries. So name of it. Let me just move this over actually. So you're going to want to type in what you see in this in the notepad I'm doing right now. Note the name is my first plugin. Keep in mind this is all case sensitive. Main, so it's looking for the main class file like we were discussing before, which is me.09sharkboy.myfirstplugin. The author is myself. You can put yourself if you want, and then you can put the version, so 1.0, or if this is 0.1, it's a beta. Then below you have to register the commands. If you don't register the commands, it won't work. So this is where I get confused sometimes because I forget where to put it. So you got to put it under the A. As you guys can see, you can space it out 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 times. Okay, so my first plugin. Then you space it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, it's under the D, so there we go. And then you go usage/command. This is all just like, you know, basic stuff. And then under usage, description. Let's see, my first plugin command. There you go. You are done. You can now file, save, done, perfect. Click my first plugin, hit save. You'll see there's no errors. Perfect. File, export. This will be closed. You want to open Java, jar file. Next, you want to select it, so it is my first plugin. Perfect. And my first plugin.jar. Finish. Jar creation failed. See details for additional information. Don't worry. Resource is out of sync. That's fine. You can just continue. Perfect. So now we are going to go in game and test the plugin. Okay, just one more thing, guys. I was just looking over this. For the main class file, I actually see us developers, we mess up all the time as well. So remember, for the main class file, it knows the package. So right now we're pretty much declaring that the main class file is in me.09sharkboy.myfirstplugin, which is right here. But there could be 100 class files. It doesn't know which one it's in. So then you do .main. So it declares it's right there. Save it again. Export it. I do apologize about that. I was looking at the console and it's like, oh, I couldn't find the class file. And I was like, what? I messed up. Don't worry. It's all, you know, it's just a work in progress kind of thing. So anyways, I'll see you guys in game. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, my first plugin is enabled. So if we could find where it actually enabled itself, we should be able to see that it says, let's see, my first plugin. So loading my first plugin version 0.1, and perfect. So it was enabled properly. It worked great. So I'll join the server. So perfect. So now if I do /my first plugin, congrats, you've done your first plugin. There you go. It runs commands. You guys can do anything you want with that. And later on, we will play sounds. We will do some neat things. We'll spawn some mobs. We'll make kit PvP plugins. We'll do a lot of things. So nonetheless, guys, I hope you all did enjoy. If you guys want to learn anything regards coding or anything in general, let me know what you guys want to learn. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Subscribe for some more, and take care.